Hello everybody, and welcome back to the second in the series on groove visualization, which is what I talked about in the first lesson. We looked at eighth notes. So hopefully you are logged into that one and paying attention. If not, just a quick recap. The idea is that we take a sound in our mind and try and usually use a swinging type vibe to try and change the way that we actually play a groove. And this time we're going to be looking at 16th notes, and in particular 16th notes played with two-handed approach to the hi-hat. Okay, so again, I want to just show you how we can play that straight, if you like, with no dynamics, no undulation, no lilt to it, and some would say no feel, and then to try and develop that feel idea. Okay, and again, just kind of looking at how we can develop a sound in our head. And one of the things that I like to do to extend this idea of the groove visualization idea is perhaps rather than just using a swung type notation in my mind, I might actually start thinking about a type of tune or a theme song, if you like, or a melody or something that kind of helps me hook into that. And that particularly applies when you're looking at some of the styles we'll look at in future lessons, like, for example, swing, jazz swing, that kind of thing, reggae, dance even. I've usually got some kind of song, track, whatever you want to call it, in my head, whirring around, helping me do this. Okay, but right for now, we're going to look at 16th notes, as I said, two-handed on the hi-hat to start with, and go back to the idea again. Remember, it's straight, so we either have a machine gun-like approach, or we can use a swung approach. So, okay? All right, so that's really the kind of the essence of how I'm going to do it. All right, now, before we start, of course, once again, reminder, earplugs in, folks. Drums get quite loud, as I'm sure you're aware, so let's get them in there. Okay, all right, so I'm ready to rock. Here we go. So I'm going to play it straight to start with again, zero kind of feel and zero kind of undulations. So straight from the textbook, okay? And I think it's pretty lifeless, okay? Here we go. So one. Yikes. Now, I personally think that's lacking so much. It's quite unbelievable. But that, again, would be a 16 beat as played by the textbook. Unfortunately, I do see quite a lot of drummers playing it that way, which is a shame, because there's so much more you can do with that and give it something a bit more of a life to it. Okay, so let's just try and do that. I'm not going to change the beat. The beat will remain the same. But I'm just going to apply our logic of the swung 16th notes in our mind. Okay, so this time I'm starting off with a. The bit isn't necessary, by the way. I just always throw that in. I think it reminds me of. Is it Trumpton? Anyway, I'm showing my age. So. No, it's Captain Pugwash. I've just remembered, but that's irrelevant. Okay, so. Okay, so that's a very exaggerated form of that. So I'm literally swinging those notes there. Now, that might be too much. Okay, but now we've just seen the two extremes, if you like. So, I mean, I'm almost shuffling that hi-hat. Okay, so let's just try and straighten it out a little bit and apply the shuffling or swinging note idea, but played straighter, so it kind of affects the straightness, all right? So, like I did with the 8th note lesson, I'm going to start off straight, change in my mind what I'm doing, and hopefully it'll come across and we'll see what's happening. Okay, here we go. All right, so. Okay, so a fairly obvious change there, I think you'll agree. So that's really kind of the concept behind that. Now what that does is it means that I can start to change the way that I add dynamics to that groove. It makes it a lot easier to play and note offbeat or E's and R's on the left hand, for example. Just make it a little bit easier and fit them in, and they kind of work better. All right, so I'm just going to expand on that a little bit. I'll play for a few moments, and you'll see what kind of things we can do. Okay, here we go. So, okay, so have some fun with that. Just kind of develop it. Let the left hand come into it a lot more, and just keep that sense of in there. And if you want to straighten it up, of course, then you can go back to your okay. And you might find you get a lot more kind of sense of feel and groove, and make it feel much nicer to play. All right. Okay. I'll see you next time, which we'll be looking at my favourite, which is the jazz ride swing pattern, or swing if you like. So we're looking at that and how we can again apply this idea of developing a groove, visualising it, and then actually changing the dynamics of how we play it. Okay, so until next time, have fun with that one. See you then.